Hi, and welcome to Bowie Business Journal. My name's Diane Palangan. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and I am your hostess today. Not so much the hostess with the mostest, otherwise I would have said I'm your host. But at any rate, I have two very special guests today. I have Travell Johnson and Sabrina McPherson, and they are with Allstate Insurance. So we're going to find out why we are in good hands. So I'm not too sure. I think we'll kind of bounce back and forth, and anytime you want to jump in, jump in. Sabrina, I understand you do the recruitment of new agents, so I think we'll start with Travell first to find out, after you were recruited, we first want to find out why you decided to go and say, you know, sales, first of all, is a tough world to be in. Because one of the things I feel, you have to really know how to handle rejection. And so, you know, more people are going to say no than to say, well, welcome in. So it's a difficult thing to say, yeah, I'm going to raise my entire family and everything's going to rely on how well I can take rejection and how well I can sell. Now, Allstate is a known entity and it's a good product, but still, that was a big jump. So what made you decide to do this?
Sure. Now, so one of my goals, I've worked in corporate America for 15 years or so, right? And, working in 4 different organizations, large organizations, Fortune 100 organizations, a couple Fortune 50 organizations, and different leadership roles. I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew that, I wanted to own my own shop, make my own decisions, be my own boss. And,
Oh, then I'm going to back up. So you're not just an agent, you are a broker? Is that what you're called?
I'm an agency owner, so I own my own shop.
Oh, okay.
Have my own employees, hire my own employees, train my own employees, obviously with the help of Allstate. But for me, what ultimately made me decide that it was time to leave, corporate America is, I had done a lot of research on the different franchise opportunities that were out there, some in insurance, some outside of insurance. And when I looked at the best opportunity, it was definitely by far Allstate in regards to, what's required in regards to upfront capital, the autonomy that you have in regards to, do you want to, buy an agency or start a scratch agency, or even the autonomy as to where I want to open my agency. So for me, Allstate gave me the best opportunity and the most autonomy in regards to deciding where, when, how, and so forth.
Wow, so how many employees do you have?
I have about 7 employees currently, and we're looking to grow our agency every day. So we're always looking for the right talent.
So they're not really all employees, because some do your administrative work, and then the others are your employees or sales people?
Yes, but all of my employees are employees of Johnson Insurance Group, so they all directly are, work directly for me.
As agents?
As agents,
As
right.
agents,
And
okay.
customer service reps, correct.
Okay, and so what is the difference between an agent and a customer service rep?
Well, both, regardless of if you're an agent or a customer service rep, right? So both require you to have a property and casualty license, so you have to be licensed by the state of Maryland.
Okay.
The only primary difference is the customer service reps, they're taking care of our customers, nurturing those relationships, making certain that they have good claims experiences, making certain that we're touching our policyholders when it comes to our moments of truth, right? So claims, if they have a youthful operator going on a policy or off the policy, our customer service reps do a really phenomenal job of educating our current client base, while our sales reps do a phenomenal job of acquiring new business.
Seems like they cross. If one educates the client base, are they the ones that are finding the clients for you to go and talk to?
I wouldn't consider it a cross. I would consider it a perfect marriage. Right?
Okay.
So you have folks with a skill set of, who are true hunters, right? So they're out there identifying new customers to bring into your business, whether it's, new individuals or even new companies, right? So there are a lot of things about Allstate that folks don't know that allows us to provide so many more products and services to not only consumers, individual consumers like you and me, but to small businesses as well.
I'm going to write so many things we don't know, because I'm going to come back to that. Okay, when I was a kid, the insurance person came to your house They knocked on the door like the Fuller Brush man, you know. They knocked on the door and they wanted to know if you needed insurance. And back in the day, nobody thought they needed insurance. And so that was a real sales pitch. But then they also came, you know, every month or a week or however you set it up, knocking on the door to collect the payments. I mean, it was a real shoe leather job. So now you have someone who smooths that over for you to begin with, correct? That was your customer service rep?
Well, I mean, so you know, back in the day, you know, you're talking about the debit days, right? So, you know, the insurance man came around once or twice, you know, a month to collect the premiums for your auto, homeowners, or even life insurance most times. And, you know, so those days are kind of behind us, right? You know, with the advances of technology, it really allows us to take care of our customers utilizing so many different medias, right? But yes, my customer service rep, my sales reps and myself, we do get knee to knee, and face to face with our clients, whether that be over their coffee and kitchen tables or even in our offices.
I'm laughing because, and if my grandmother was alive, she'd kill me. But I remember when the insurance man came to the house one day and she was cleaning out the registers. And in an old Victorian house, the registers were at least 15 by 15. And a little kid could actually fall in the vents, but she was cleaning them out. And he knocked on the door and she's like, oh my God, I can't answer, don't answer that door, I can't. Because she was, you know, messy from the dust and everything. She was running around in circles and she fell in.
Oh my gosh.
And her leg went in, she was stuck, and I was little, I couldn't get her out, so I said, would you please come in and help my grandma? She's in the register.
Oh, no.
So it was one of those things, you get in trouble or do not get in trouble, and I chose to get in trouble.
To help your grandmother.
Oh my gosh, so when you're saying that, I laugh about that because I was going to ask you about a local business and you know, the importance of being local, and of course you would get to know my grandmother in the register, but you know, so you went and your business is local. You wanted more to be local than, say, for instance, across the state?
Yes, ma'am. So, you know, we have, you know, Johnson Insurance Group, we have, you know, a location here in Bowie, and then we actually have another location in Waldorf. And it was critical for us to make certain that we were in the two communities where our primary businesses were, where our customers were located, right? So, you know, specifically, we love the fact that many of our customers, you know, we have extended hours. So they are meeting with us at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening, doing policy reviews, making certain that their insurance coverages are keeping up with their life, with the needs that have changed in their lives, you know, since they first took out their policy.
Because of, we talked a little bit earlier about the depreciation way we used to do things when we had our houses. The interior was insured for X amount of dollars, and then if you had a fire or some other catastrophe, you couldn't replace it because you didn't have enough insurance on it.
Right.
And that's because we always depreciated it instead of thinking that it was going to cost us more. So do you advise people keep some kind of photographic log of what they have in the house?
Yeah, sure. I know with Allstate, you know, we have a few apps that are out there that are readily available for not only our policyholders, but for, you know, other, you know, for everyone to use, right? So you don't necessarily have to be an Allstate policyholder to utilize our photo apps that allows you to capture, our home inventory apps that allows you to capture all the things that are in, you know, your home, right? So it's an app that says living room. So you go and you kind of take a panoramic view of your living room to capture, you know, many of the pieces that are in your home, right?
Yeah, because it's difficult to write it all down.
Yeah.
Correct.
But if you can capture it and at least be talking and saying this is something, or that's a difficult job.
Yeah, and for us, you know, leveraging technology such as, you know, the home inventory app, you know, it allows us and it positions your agent and your company to really support and provide our policyholders with phenomenal service at that moment of truth. So if that fire happened, right? So having that home inventory app out there, we can click and say, all right, we can kind of see everything that you had, right? So it just makes the claims process a little easier.
So where would you keep something like that? Of course, you wouldn't keep it in your house.
Well,
in your phone?
yeah, it's in your phone, so it's in the cloud, right? So everything's in the cloud these days.
Wait, Yeah, I'm old. Not everything's in my phone. Okay, it is in the cloud. See, I worry about the cloud, but okay.
The cloud's here to stay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
I know. But the cloud's been hacked too. Yeah. So I worry about it. So you don't have to do like what they're always used to, at least tell you to put things in a plastic bag, and then that's when, if you have to escape for a flood or a tornado or something, take that plastic bag with you because it has your insurance policy and things like that. No, because it's on your phone?
It's on the phone. I mean, if you download the app, the Allstate app,
And how would we get that app?
you would just go to the App Store on your phone and select Allstate mobile app. And that way you have access to making payments. Like Travell said, you can do your inventory of your home, all of your valuables. We also have DriveWise, which you don't have to be an Allstate customer to use. It's a way to help you with your driving habits. So the app has a lot of different benefits to it.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. And so you said it's on the cloud. So that means it doesn't have to really be in my phone. So if I lose my phone, somebody doesn't see my address and everything I own?
Right, yeah. So obviously the Allstate app is secured and so forth. So protections that the protections that are already built into that will fully protect our consumers.
Okay, now, because, young kids who know about the app and the cloud and all that, they're not going to be watching us. It's people my age who really don't know the apps and the cloud and all that stuff.
And at the end of the day, we want our policyholders and consumers to safe keep their information in a place and in a method that they're most comfortable with.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that you have some information to safekeep,
You have
right?
some information.
So granted, if there are folks that like to keep stuff in a plastic bag, I would say get a security deposit box, safety deposit box versus, keeping it in your home, because if your home burns.
But the information that even if your phone burns, the information is still in the cloud.
Correct.
And it's
That is
retrievable.
correct.
Very good.
Yeah, and
Very good.
there are fireproof lock boxes
Yeah.
that you can have in your
Yeah.
home, like you said,
Very
to
true.
protect your valuables if you're not interested in using the app.
Y'all are going to drag me into the 21st century, kicking and screaming, but I'm going to get there. So we have some protection for unpredictable events. What would you think? Well, I would say an unpredictable event in Maryland would actually be, we had a tornado come through the other night.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, it was an actual tornado. And I can't remember as long as I've lived in Maryland that we had a tornado. Wow, but you had on your resume here about recommending protection for unpredictable life events. And so what are some of those events that you can think of?
There are many life-changing events, right? With this crazy weather pattern that we've had most recently, I think Maryland, we are on pace. This could be the rainiest year in history, right? So I think we're we're really close to hitting that mark. So, the one thing that I encourage all consumers to do is, if you're meeting with your financial planner once a year, if you're meeting with your accountant once a year around tax time, you absolutely should be meeting with your insurance agent, or for us, what we call ourselves trusted advisors,
yes.
Once a year, twice a year, just to make certain that, your policy is keeping up with the changes that may have occurred in your life, right? So
Allstate is your assets, not your life policy. It's just all your assets.
Well,
your home, your car,
right. So obviously
boat.
we have auto, home, personal lines, but then we do provide financial products. We have life insurance. We have college planning, right? Retirement, right? So you retired. You retired from your job. We can help you roll over that 403B or that 401K into a product. So we are truly a one-stop shop for consumers. So earlier when I spoke about, we do a lot more than what most consumers know. That's more or less what I was speaking about.
Yeah, because I didn't know you sold the life insurance, or you could help with the retirement planning, and so you would work with someone's financial planner.
Well, we would serve as it. right?
You would, oh, okay.
Right, so I guess what I was referencing is we encourage our policyholders to meet with us once a year to make certain that your auto policy is proper, right? You have the proper limits of liability on your auto policy, right? That your home is still keeping up with the value, right? A lot of times folks aren't necessarily buying newer homes, they're adding on to their homes, right? So when you first bought your home in 2005, you know, it was a 2,000 square foot home, right? But since then you added another 800 square feet to your home, right? You added that swimming pool, right? Or you built out that deck. And all those pieces obviously would appreciate the value of your home, right? So you want to make certain that your agent and your trusted advisor is keeping up with all the changes that you're making, you know, in your life, so you can make certain that your insurance policies and programs are keeping up as well.
You know, I would venture to say that more than 50% of us are guilty of not having that insurance checkup. Because I will say, I have an insurance checkup when I buy a new car. I say, oh, really? You think I need that? Okay. I can't tell you when the last time I had an insurance checkup on my home and what's in my home. I really couldn't tell you. I always figured that, you know, they'll know when they see the tax bill that it's increased. I don't know if they see the tax bill, but I'm thinking they'll know the value is increased and they'll just automatically add a percentage. I'm putting, I guess, too much in faith's hands to say somebody's, so you are really recommending a once-a-year checkup, and I think that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
Because never did that ever cross my mind. I just think you get a new car, you get different insurance.
Yeah.
So,
so many things change in our life. We go through so many life stages, and so it is very important to call a local agent like Travell just to update us. I mean, you know, people get married, they get divorced, you know, they downsize, they upsize. One of the things right now that a lot of people are concerned about is, will their retirement money outlast their retirement days?
yes.
So that's why Travell and our financial specialists are so important, because we want to make sure that all the gaps are filled.
Now see, ding, 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 you just put me on my soapbox about women will outlive their money. Typically, women will outlive their money because they normally live 7 years longer than their spouse. When the spouse passes, that income's gone. Because of the wage differential, that's over $500,000 in a lifetime of earnings.
Yeah.
So they don't have that money, and and you know, with Social Security, now it's a lifetime of earnings, not your last 10 years earnings. And you know what all those zeros do to an average when, you know, women take off time to have babies. So women typically outlive their retirement, and so they really need to speak to you all about the retirement, which is never even thought about you all doing that part. That's very interesting. So you are so excited about what you do. Can you tell me anything that stands out in your career that made you feel really good about helping someone?
Yes, I guess one example comes to mind quickly is shortly thereafter, you know, we came into business. We were working with a client who had been a client for, you know, about 10 years or so, and just through, you know, that fact-finding conversation, you know, we uncovered, you know, that this gentleman, you know, we only insured at home, but he had, you know, 4 rental properties, and he had, you know, 2 cars that he was insured elsewhere, and he had called us because he was retiring and he wanted to buy a Bentley, right? And the company that he was with wouldn't insure his Bentley. True story. So, you know, through our fact-finding conversation, come to find out this guy has, you know, 5 rental properties, and he's carrying around state minimum liability limits.
Ooh.
30, 60.
Even I know the name Bentley.
State minimum, right?
More than that.
Right. So what a lot of consumers don't realize is that they're still driving around. I'll call them state minimum. I like to call them college kid limits, right? Because these are typically the limits of liability that you may have had when you purchased your first car when you went to college. You may have never changed them again. Right? Because no one is really sitting down telling you and explaining to you exactly how the coverages on your policy protect you,
Right,
right? So I think I posed to you a question earlier today, well, who chose your limits for you? And a lot of times
That's
they say, well,
right.
the other company does.
The other
Well, how do we know that
yes.
they're proper for you?
You don't.
Exactly.
You don't know until you have to use them, and then did they work as you had
Intended,
anticipated
absolutely.
them to work for you? And then sometimes that's a hard lesson to learn. Sabrina, I'd like to ask you a little bit, because we're kind of interjecting a little bit, but you actually recruit people like Travell. I think you didn't have to do much recruiting for that, but what is it that you do, and how do you work with Travell after you've recruited someone?
Okay, so yes, I'm a field sales leader, and my role is to work with our existing agents. So I have a market, and I work currently with 35 agents in 40 locations. So I'm very fortunate to have Travell in my market, because he is very, very experienced, and he really does care about customers. In addition to consulting my agents, because my job is to make sure that our agents are successful and that they can grow their business. So in addition to that, Allstate as a company wants to grow. So I'm constantly out recruiting entrepreneurs, people who want to be their own boss and own their own business and be involved in the community, as well as help their employees grow and have careers as well. So pretty much every day I'm in the field. So people ask, where is my office? My office is in my car. So I'm driving around, meeting with my agents, consulting with them, but also trying to identify people who would represent our brand well by being involved in the community, taking care of their customers, giving them the information that they need to make the best decisions, helping our company grow. So one of the things we do, and I do, is I look for, of course, exclusive agents like Travell, but we also recruit financial specialists. So we were just talking about how Allstate is involved in life and retirement. A lot of people don't know that. But we also have exclusive people that they solely focus on the life and retirement piece, and they work in conjunction with our agents. So when I identify people like that, and a lot of times it's from referrals, from people who are already entrepreneurs, and I just want to share that it's a $5,000 referral fee. So that anyone that gives me a candidate to interview and then they decide to come on board with Allstate, that person gets a $5,000 referral fee. Another thing I do is I look for people who want to be licensed sales professionals, people who want to work in an agency like Travell's, because we do need staff to take care of our customers. So I'm always out just talking to people in the community and seeing what their interest level is and if they want to start a new career. Earlier you talked about sales. Sales can be it can be an interesting job. It's not for everyone. But one of the things that I've learned is it is about relationships too. So being able to sell and explain products properly, but building relationships. And our customer base are people who like to have relationships with their agency owner, like to stop by for a cup of coffee at the agency, to be informed. So I'm looking for those type of people. I came from the claim industry with Allstate, and I was there for 17 years. I've been with the company for 23. And when I switched over to sales, I was like, I don't have any sales experience, but what I realized is it is all about relationship building and just helping people who know they want to be their own boss, but showing them that insurance is a great industry because you can take care of people. So you're helping yourself, but you're also helping others.
Because it does give you a good feeling. We're going short on time, and I did want to ask you two questions. One, you said there was a lot that people didn't know about Allstate that I did want to touch base, but I also want to touch base with your volunteerism. You're really in the community, and I really want people to know how that is.
Yeah, we are. We actually, one of the things that we do is Allstate. We have an Allstate Foundation, and we also have Hands in the Community. So we allow our agents each year to work with a nonprofit of their choice and donate money. And also donating money, they also volunteer their time. So that's one way that we like to get into the community.
Foundation is where the money goes when it's donated, or is it?
It goes to that nonprofit, but we have an Allstate Foundation that is focused on helping nonprofits, helping people. Another thing that we're really proud about is the Purple Purse.
Okay.
And it's about financial abuse. And when we first started it, I always said, why Purple Purse if it's about domestic violence, financial abuse? But what we found is a lot of people stay in abusive relationships because of the finances, because of the purse, not being able to move out, and that control. Right now, Serena Williams is our ambassador.
Oh, wow.
And if you check her out on Instagram, she's on there a lot. She talks about how she's involved as our ambassador for the Purple Purse. Kerry Washington was prior to her. So it's something that we're really proud about.
You should be, yeah, indeed.
And one last thing, Travail, we have partnered with NBC4 for many years, and we do the community shred. And this year, Travail had the opportunity to represent Allstate. And we had the community shred at Prince George's Community College.
Right.
And Travail and his team did an outstanding job with talking to the citizens in the community.
Great.
And it was my first experience. I came out to help with Travail, and I never realized, I mean, the folks were so happy that we were out, very grateful of the opportunity to be able to come out and safely shred their items.
Safely shred and to talk to somebody about a question they may have about insurance and not feel like they're going to be hounded.
Sure.
After that, you know, everybody says, it's like the doctor, oh, can you look at that for me? You know?
Yes.
Well, you have the same thing, you know. Oh, what happens if this happens or if that happens, you know? And so people feel good that they can have somebody to talk to, as well as getting their documents taken care of too.
Yes.
So I did want to get back to you about the things we have about a little bit less than a minute, about the things we didn't know that Allstate does.
Oh, I mean, it's everything from kind of everything that we talked about today, right? So the philanthropic work, right, through the Allstate Foundation, Allstate Hands in Community. You know, being an Allstate agency owner, you know, while selling is a piece of what I do, it's a slither of what I do, right? We really spend a lot of time developing our staff and so forth and training.
Well, I am going to have to actually cut you off because we are out of time.
Oh, very good.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. The website will be posted in the credits. If you need to ask a question, there's a phone number that you can call. And do look up that app, because I know that's the first thing I'm going to do when I get home is look up the app. Thank you so much. I hope
you, Diane.
we covered everything for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good.
Very good.
Thanks.
Okay. And that is